Hello, ActiveSage here on the Sage channel, and today I have a little bit of something different to show you. It is a small ship that I've recently put together. Now, I've called it the Open Strike ship, because the original design had a very open idea. It would sort of be a bunch of circles sort of joined together at the middle, and they just have one large thruster at the end of each of them. Now, unfortunately, as per usual, as time went by, the design shifted and changed a little bit, and a lot of the areas, of course, got filled in, and it ended up being something a bit bulkier and more down to earth. Now, what you were just looking at actually is the front of the ship. This sort of keeps the idea of Open Strike Fighter because it is a very open and like almost as if curved in area here where all the weapons are set up. Now on the back you can see that we have the large engine nacelles that we were just looking at on the other side. You can see I have my new industrial thrusters stuck in there to give us a huge amount of speed and power. And then we have this large thing sticking out of the back with a connection point right here. And if I was to go ahead and click into that, you can see that we have is 3 medium cargo containers in there, and then 2 rocket launchers, and I believe it is, yes indeed, 4 large reactors. And then about 4 gatling guns. Now if we were to fly around you can actually see all those. For the missile launchers we have these sort of double things, the automatic reloading missile launchers. There's 2 up there, or there's 1 up there that has the 4 nozzles, and another one down there. And then we have our gatling guns off to the sides here. The lighting of course has a small blue light around the outer edge, and then a sort of orange light in the middle. The texturing on this, or I say the texturing, the coloring on this is sort of a mixture of the blue, or dark blue, and just a more of grayish with a tint of blue. It's a pretty nice ship. I like it a lot. Like that I have these little cut-ins here, and then I actually have the coloration almost make it look like there's another cut in here. I'm overall very happy with the ship, and it even has an antenna on it. I don't think there's anything I forgot off. There is not too much braking power compared to the forward power, whereas the forward has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 large industrial thrusters to get us going forward. So you can see here we are accelerating and max speed has just been reached. And we stop pretty quickly, but of course that's using the override on these stop engines, and of course overrides on these engines stop us faster. So as you can see there, we stop very, very quickly with the large thrusters. But what this does give us is a huge amount of forward speed, and I found that if you have enough forward speed, you almost don't even need side engines, which is the reason why you'll find that I have very, very weak side engines. And there we go, I'm going forward, even though the side engines are still firing, I'm still pretty much going forward. So it's a very different ship to fly because it drifts a lot until it sort of gains its forward momentum. So let's say I want to go back that way. Well, we sort of cut out a lot of our side speed and just start going that way. Let's say we just want to go this way. Well, oh, no, not that way, this way here. Well, you'd expect, because we had so much speed going in the other direction, that it would take a long time for the ship to slow down and actually change directions at a 90-degree angle. But the thing is, it seems like it actually almost cuts out the middleman, and so to speak. And the idea that once it reaches its maximum speed in another direction, it sort of stops going in the other direction altogether, because of course your maximum speed would be above the 105 mark. That's my hypothesis currently. So even though the ship has very little side thrust, you can still maneuver it around pretty well, and you end up with a lot of drifting curves. Now, the ship could use a bit more forward power and a bit more side power, but I think it actually works reasonably well. Now, the weapon complement, as I said earlier, does indeed have... Let's actually go ahead and just stop. We'll aim our thrusters that way. You can see a small overload there as all of those thrusters fire. Now, the ship does have, as I said, a few weapon setups, so we'll go ahead and grab the Gatling guns and the missiles. Now, the missiles, if you're going first person, are going to be firing from above and below us. So if we fire those, you can see there, of course we can fire all 4, and then we'll reload that set automatically through the large pipes that are hidden inside this ship. And we can buzz around here and take aim, and we'll do some drifting and firing. Oh, you see some arcs there of the missiles as we go. Now, of course, you don't want to turn really quickly as you fire these missiles, because they do have these pretty large nacelles out the side, and if you were firing a missile and turned, you could very easily hit your own engine. There we go. That was weird. It actually looked like it fired completely sideways that first time. A bit strange, a bit dangerous. Anyway, as for the Gatling guns, we have those 4 I was talking about earlier. You can see them firing from there. It's pretty nice. I'm very happy actually with them. Of course, since they are pretty far apart in the end, you would possibly have a bit of a difficult time locking on and hitting an enemy. But let's be honest, a ship like this, you're probably going to only want to go fighting against other larger ships, so hopefully you'd have a better chance of actually hitting your targets. And I'm sort of bringing us around here, hitting up a few of these just as demonstration. These are, of course, earlier versions of this that I had. And, of course, now I'm backing off and hitting backwards because even though we don't have thrusters as powerful as the large ones on the back, we can at least, oh no, ram ourselves like idiots. We can at least have some good reverse power because there are a fair few large normal engines. And yeah, that was a bit stupid of me to run into that. As for view from in the cockpit, it's actually pretty good. It's one of the better views from my cockpits. You see our antenna up there. It's pretty nice. Yeah, not the best in the world, but still, I wanted the cockpit to be a little bit more hidden than just out in the open all the time. And you see this earlier version that I had rammed into actually doesn't have any gyroscopes inside it, so it's actually surviving better than I thought it would, even with missile hits. They seem to have maybe nerfed missiles slightly. And it seems like it's blasted away all the internal equipment. Anyway, yeah, the other version there didn't have really anything inside it. It was just or it didn't really have any gyroscopes, so when I hit it, it just kept spinning. Pretty interesting, though. Anyway, that's the ship. It's a pretty simple ship. I'll probably be putting this whole map up on the Steam Workshop instead of uploading it as a blueprint at the moment, just because of the fact that right now a blueprint won't have the mods needed. And also, I can't quite figure out how to make a custom thumbnail for a blueprint. If I could do that, and when I say a custom thumbnail, I mean a custom thumbnail with actuals, like something from Photoshop. Once I figure out how to do that, then I'll probably be uploading more ships to the Steam Workshop just through the blueprint system, but right now this will probably just be uploaded as the whole world that you see here. 2 Sage stations, a few variants of this ship that are very unfinished, and then of course this finished version here you can go ahead and grab. I might upload it as a blueprint as well, but we'll figure that out, I guess. Anyway, just one last thing to show you guys. It's the inside working of this. It is all piped up and survival ready, so if we were to go ahead and go down, you can see while looking through here, it's got gyroscopes stuck all over the place, but it also has the reactors here, which are piped into these large splitters in here. It's really hard to see, but we do have the cargo containers all lined up behind each other, leading up to these things here, which are hooked into the sides of them, and then pipes leading to the Gatling guns, and then pipes also leading up into the missile launcher. So it's all hooked up and survival ready if you want to use the ship in a survival map of some sort. It's not going to have any uranium in it, so you'll have to, I guess, put that in there yourself. Actually, you know, I'll put uranium in there before I load up the Steam Workshop, and some ammo. That way it'll be all good and ready to go. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you like this ship, and expect to see a variant of this, which is probably going to fly the other direction in the future, because that sort of looks like it should be the front of the ship. But anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.